Welcome to this transformative journey, dear friends. Today we'll explore an ancient truth that resonates deeply within the teachings of Stoicism. Your habits shape your destiny. Have you ever wondered why some individuals rise to greatness while others remain trapped in cycles of frustration and despair? The answer lies not in fate or fortune, but in the choices they make every day. As Epictetus said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Let us delve into the power of habits and discover how you can align your actions with your highest aspirations to achieve a life of fulfillment and purpose. And welcome back to Daily Stoic Practice Channel, your compass to navigate the complexities of modern life with ancient wisdom. The Stoics believed that life is not a game of chance controlled by the whims of gods or fate. Instead, they taught that we are active participants in shaping our destiny through the choices we make each day. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, expressed this idea beautifully when he wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This profound statement reminds us that our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, and habits, shapes our actions, which in turn forge the character of our soul and the trajectory of our lives. To bring this concept to life, let's look at the contrasting paths of two famous Romans, Marcus Antonius, Mark Antony, and Octavian, who would later be known as Augustus Caesar. Both men were gifted leaders with immense potential, yet their lives unfolded in dramatically different ways because of the habits they cultivated. Mark Antony was a brilliant general and orator, beloved by his soldiers and the Roman people. He had charisma, talent, and opportunities to secure a lasting legacy. However, Antony's indulgence in luxury, excess, and unrestrained passion became his undoing. His fateful alliance with Cleopatra and his inability to temper his impulses led to political and military missteps, culminating in his defeat and tragic demise. Antony's story is a cautionary tale about how even the brightest talents can be squandered if not accompanied by self-discipline. In contrast, Octavian took a different approach. While not as naturally charismatic as Antony, Octavian built his success through discipline, foresight, and strategic thinking. He was patient, calculating, and focused, always keeping his long-term goals in mind. Instead of succumbing to his emotions or immediate desires, he practiced moderation and self-control. These habits allowed him to outmaneuver Antony and consolidate power, eventually becoming Rome's first emperor. Augustus Caesar's reign ushered in a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana, solidifying his legacy as one of history's great leaders. The lesson from these two lives is timeless. Self-mastery is essential to mastering one's destiny. The Stoics remind us that every choice, no matter how small, contributes to the person we are becoming. Just as Antony's lack of discipline led to his downfall, Octavian's commitment to virtuous habits allowed him to shape the course of history. We are all artists of our lives, and our habits are the brushstrokes with which we paint. By cultivating discipline, patience, and clear thinking, we can create a masterpiece. But if we allow ourselves to be ruled by impulsive desires or fleeting pleasures, the result may be a work of chaos rather than beauty. So as you navigate life's challenges, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Your thoughts and actions today are the seeds of your future. Choose them wisely. To the Stoics, the small, seemingly insignificant choices we make each day hold immense power. Every decision adds to the mosaic of our character, shaping who we become and how we navigate the world. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most celebrated thinkers, encapsulates this idea when he writes, "Fate leads the willing, but drags the unwilling." In other words, we can either consciously steer our habits to align with virtue, or allow the tide of unchecked impulses to pull us along. Habits, much like the currents of a river, can either propel us forward or leave us thrashing against forces of our own making. A remarkable example of the transformative power of small habits is found in the life of Cleanthes, the Greek philosopher who succeeded Zeno as the head of the Stoic school. Cleanthes began his journey far from the halls of academia or the heights of intellectual acclaim. He was a laborer, earning his keep by drawing water during the night and using his daylight hours to study philosophy. Many of his peers scoffed at his slow, methodical nature and questioned his intelligence. Yet Cleanthes was undeterred. His secret, a steadfast commitment to discipline, curiosity, and growth. Day by day, Cleanthes sharpened his mind and refined his understanding of Stoic principles. While others sought shortcuts to success or were swayed by fleeting ambitions, he embraced the grind of consistent effort. Over time, these small, deliberate actions coalesced into greatness. Cleanthes not only mastered Stoic philosophy, but became a revered teacher, guiding others on the path to virtue and wisdom. His life is a testament to the Stoic belief that true excellence is not an accident. It is the result of countless intentional choices made over a lifetime. The lesson here is clear. Small habits, repeated consistently, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Whether it's rising early to meditate, practicing gratitude, or dedicating a few minutes each day to learning, these seemingly modest acts carry profound consequences over time. As the Stoics understood, excellence is not achieved in grand, sweeping gestures, but in the quiet, persistent work of cultivating good habits. We, too, are shaped by the habits we choose. If we cultivate discipline, patience, and a willingness to learn, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life and set the stage for growth. But if we neglect these virtues and give in to laziness or distraction, we risk being dragged along unwillingly, like a swimmer fighting against the current. So, take inspiration from Cleanthes and remember, greatness is not a gift bestowed upon the lucky few. It is the inevitable result of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Embrace the power of your daily choices, for they hold the potential to shape not just your character, but your destiny. In the Stoic view, the mind is the starting point of everything we become. Our thoughts are like seeds, and our actions are the plants they produce. If we plant seeds of virtue and wisdom, we'll grow into the best version of ourselves. Epictetus captured this truth when he said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In these words lies a roadmap for transformation. Envision your ideal self, then take deliberate steps to align your actions with that vision. Consider a Roman senator, someone plagued by a lifelong struggle with gluttony. He feels trapped in his habits, frustrated by his inability to change. But instead of giving in to despair, he adopts the Stoic approach. Each morning, he asks himself a simple yet powerful question. What would a wise and virtuous man do? Inspired by this thought, he begins to make small changes. Instead of indulging in lavish feasts, he starts with moderation, choosing smaller portions, savoring each bite, and practicing gratitude for the food he has. At first, progress is slow, and temptation remains a constant companion. Yet with every mindful choice, the senator strengthens his self-control. Day by day, meal by meal, his habits shift. Over time, his body grows healthier, but something even more profound happens. His character transforms. By the end of his life, he has not only conquered gluttony, but has become an exemplar of temperance and self-mastery. His journey shows that change doesn't happen in an instant. It is the accumulation of small victories over time. This principle is universal. Whether you wish to overcome procrastination, anger, or fear, the process remains the same. Start by changing your thoughts. Reflect on the person you want to be and ask yourself how they would act in each situation. This mental shift will inspire new actions, even if they feel small or insignificant at first. Repeat these actions often enough, and they become habits. Over time, your habits define your character, and your character shapes your fate. The Stoics believe that our fate is not entirely out of our hands. It is shaped by the habits we cultivate and the choices we make. Like a sculptor chiseling a block of marble, we have the power to refine ourselves through discipline and practice. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by a bad habit or a lingering flaw, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Your mind is the soil, your thoughts are the seeds, and your habits are the roots that will determine the quality of your life. Plant wisely, tend consistently, and you'll harvest a life of purpose, virtue, and fulfillment. If you are too busy to watch the whole video, click the like button so you can find the video again. Stoic philosophers often likened life to a long journey, where even the smallest steps taken consistently can lead to extraordinary destinations. They understood that greatness is not achieved through grand, one-time gestures, but through a steady commitment to virtuous habits. Among their examples, few embody this truth better than Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman celebrated for his unwavering integrity and devotion to principle. Cato lived in an era rife with corruption, ambition, and moral compromise. While others pursued power through flattery, deceit, or greed, Cato stood firm in his Stoic values. He practiced self-restraint, honesty, and discipline daily, even when these virtues brought him more hardship than reward. Unlike many of his peers who bent their principles to secure political advantages, Cato's character remained immovable. His adherence to virtue was so steadfast that even his enemies respected him, and his name became synonymous with moral courage. But Cato's greatness did not arise overnight. It was the product of countless small, deliberate actions. He cultivated his habits in private long before they were tested in public. Whether through acts of generosity, refusal to partake in dishonest schemes, or his relentless commitment to truth, Cato consistently chose the harder path, guided by the Stoic belief that virtue is its own reward. His life offers a timeless lesson. Even in the face of adversity or failure, perseverance and virtuous habits can create a legacy of greatness. While Cato's refusal to yield may have cost him political power and even his life, it won him something far greater: the admiration of history and the enduring respect of those who value principle over expediency. The Stoics teach that the external rewards of wealth, status, or approval are fleeting, but the cultivation of a virtuous character endures. They challenge us to focus not on the immediate results of our actions, but on their alignment with our values. Much like Cato, we may find that the road of integrity is steep and lonely, but it leads to a life of profound meaning and inner peace. As you navigate your own journey, take heart in the power of small, consistent actions. Whether it's choosing honesty over convenience, patience over frustration, or discipline over indulgence, each choice strengthens the foundation of your character. The Stoics remind us that even the smallest steps, repeated over time, can lead to the greatest destinations. So, begin today. Plant the seeds of virtue, water them with consistent effort, and trust that they will grow into a legacy worth remembering. Next, we come to the story 5 Stoic Truths About Habits in Life. The wisdom of the Stoics endures because it speaks directly to the core of what it means to live a good life. Habits, they believed, are the building blocks of character and the compass for navigating the challenges of existence. Here are 5 timeless Stoic truths about habits and their power to shape your destiny. 1. Self-reliance is the foundation of freedom. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." The Stoics taught that relying too much on external circumstances or the approval of others undermines our inner stability. True freedom comes from cultivating the habit of self-reliance, developing the resilience to find strength within, no matter what challenges arise. By turning inward and fostering a mindset of self-trust, you lay the groundwork for a life of unshakable independence and autonomy. 2. Health is a duty to oneself and others. To the Stoics, the body was not merely a vessel, but a tool for virtuous action. Epictetus wisely said, "Take care of your body, it is the vessel of your soul." Neglecting health not only limits your potential, but also your ability to contribute meaningfully to society and those you love. The Stoics understood that habits like moderation in diet, regular exercise, and adequate rest aren't just acts of self-care, they are acts of duty. By cultivating habits that preserve and enhance your physical well-being, you honor the gift of life and ensure you're prepared to face its challenges with vigor and purpose. 3. A calm mind is a fortress. Life is full of external storms, but the Stoics knew that a calm, disciplined mind could weather any upheaval. Seneca observed, "He who is brave is free," emphasizing the importance of inner peace as a shield against fear and chaos. Practices such as daily journaling, reflection, or meditation serve as mental anchors, helping you build habits of clarity and composure. These small, consistent acts of self-awareness create a fortress for your mind, one that cannot be breached by the anxieties or turbulence of the outside world. 4. Not everyone's approval matters. Marcus Aurelius offered this timeless truth. "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Chasing the approval of others is a habit that leads only to frustration and compromise. Instead, focus on living in accordance with virtue and reason, aligning your actions with your values rather than the expectations of the crowd. By cultivating the habit of self-respect and prioritizing your inner compass, you free yourself from the chains of external validation. 5. Family harmony requires understanding. The Stoics deeply valued personal relationships and believed that harmony within the family was a cornerstone of a good life. By cultivating empathy, patience, and communication, you create an environment of mutual respect and support. As Seneca observed, a wise person considers the perspective of others, fostering understanding rather than conflict. Making a habit of listening actively, forgiving readily, and expressing gratitude strengthens family bonds and ensures enduring happiness in your closest relationships. These 5 truths remind us that habits are far more than daily routines. They are the essence of how we shape our lives and influence the world around us. By adopting practices rooted in Stoic wisdom, you can cultivate a life of freedom, purpose, and harmony, one small, deliberate action at a time. The Stoics understood life as a journey, with each stage offering unique challenges and opportunities for growth. By aligning our actions and habits with wisdom, we can navigate life's seasons with grace and purpose. Here's how the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus guide us through the later decades of life. At 40, simplify and find contentment. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, frequently reminds us of the fleeting nature of desires. By 40, we often find ourselves caught in the pursuit of material success, social validation, or fleeting pleasures. Marcus advises us to pare down these desires, to reduce the things you long for. Instead, learn to appreciate the simple joys that life offers. A quiet walk, meaningful conversations, or the satisfaction of a job well done. Freeing yourself from the burden of unnecessary luxuries not only lightens your life, but also allows you to focus on what truly matters: your character and your relationships. At 50, let go of passions that no longer serve you. Seneca, the master of practical wisdom, suggests that the midpoint of life is the perfect time to re-examine our attachments. By 50, many of the passions that once drove us, whether ambition, competition, or resentment, may no longer align with our values or goals. Seneca advises us to let go of these consuming emotions, focusing instead on cultivating inner peace and meaningful relationships. This is the time to prioritize friendships, familial harmony, and the pursuit of wisdom. As Seneca might say, a calm heart is a fertile ground for a fulfilling life. At 60, practice moderation to sustain vitality. By 60, Epictetus reminds us that moderation becomes essential, not just for moral clarity, but for physical well-being. Habits of overindulgence in food, drink, or excess entertainment can erode the health and vitality needed to enjoy this stage of life. Epictetus encourages us to adopt restraint, treating the body as a servant to the soul. By doing so, we preserve the energy and clarity necessary for both philosophical reflection and joyful engagement with the world. Moderation also fosters gratitude, as it helps us savor the abundance already present in our lives. By following these principles, we not only navigate life's changes with purpose, but also leave behind a legacy of wisdom and virtue. As the Stoics remind us, the measure of a life well lived is not its length, but its depth and meaning. So, how to begin your Stoic journey? Embarking on a Stoic journey doesn't require dramatic changes or a complete overhaul of your life. Instead, it begins with small, deliberate steps that gradually align your thoughts and actions with Stoic principles. Here's a practical guide to get started. 1. Start with awareness. The foundation of Stoicism is self-awareness. Begin by observing your daily habits, thoughts, and reactions. Ask yourself, which of these habits reflect Stoic principles like discipline, moderation, or courage? Which habits conflict with them? Awareness is the first step toward change. As Epictetus reminds us, you cannot begin to improve yourself if you are unaware of your faults. 2. Practice reflection. Set aside a few minutes each evening for self-reflection. Journaling is a powerful tool the Stoics often use to assess their actions and thoughts. Write down what went well, what could have been better, and whether your choices aligned with your values. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is essentially a collection of his reflections, and it shows how consistent self-review deepens self-mastery. 3. Embrace voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed in training the mind to endure hardships by practicing voluntary discomfort. Try small acts of self-denial, like skipping a luxury you usually indulge in or taking a cold shower. These practices build resilience and remind you that happiness doesn't depend on external comforts. As Seneca said, set aside a certain number of days during which you will be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, and ask yourself, is this what I used to dread? 4. Find your circle of virtue. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can reinforce your commitment to Stoicism. Seek out friends, mentors, or communities that inspire you to grow. These relationships serve as a mirror, helping you stay accountable to your principles. As Marcus Aurelius noted, associate with those who make a better man of you. 5. Persevere. The Stoic journey is not always easy. Obstacles will arise, but these challenges are opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Instead of avoiding difficulties, embrace them as part of the process. Each setback is a chance to cultivate resilience, patience, and wisdom. Starting your Stoic journey is less about adopting a new philosophy overnight and more about committing to consistent, intentional progress. Begin with awareness, reflect on your values, and take small steps toward living a virtuous life. Over time, these efforts will compound, guiding you toward greater peace, purpose, and mastery of self. As the Stoics teach, the path to wisdom begins not with grand gestures, but with the deliberate practice of what is within your control. The Stoics often reminded us that character is destiny. Who we are and who we become is the result of the habits we cultivate daily. By taking charge of these habits, we align ourselves with the natural order, embracing a life of virtue, resilience, and purpose. Every small action matters, whether it's choosing patience over frustration, gratitude over complaint, or discipline over indulgence. These choices shape not only our character, but also the trajectory of our lives. As the Stoics teach, even the smallest actions, practiced consistently and with intention, have the power to transform us in profound ways. So the question remains, what habits will you cultivate today to shape your destiny tomorrow? Will you take a step toward wisdom, courage, or temperance? The path forward is yours to choose, and each choice is an opportunity to grow. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. As always, we are here to walk alongside you, offering guidance, inspiration, and support. Together, let's build a life of excellence, one small, deliberate step at a time. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe to Daily Stoic Practice and share your insights in the comments. Your thoughts may inspire others on their own journeys to inner peace and resilience. Don't miss our daily videos, insightful discussions, and practical tips for applying Stoic principles to your modern life.